thank you for the opportunity this evening. I was just at the restaurant across the street, and I've spent the last 12 hours at the U of M across from the Richardson building doing some university type courses. So when I walked by, I heard a performer read a poem that reminded me very much of Robert Service. Robert Service is a famous Canadian poem. Long time ago, 25 years ago, before I had an accident which left me completely paralyzed, I used to lead canoe trips and sit around the campfire and tell stories. And one of my faves is the Cremation of Sam McGee. Now, this is very spontaneous, 5 minutes ago, so I have not read or prepared anything, and I'm not reading anything. So for you Robert Service purists, please take that into account. The Cremation of Sam McGee by Robert Service. There are strange things done under the midnight sun by the man who boil for gold. The Arctic trails have seen their queer tales in the land where the man boiled for gold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge on Lake LaBarge, where I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam around the pole, God only knows. He'd often say in his homely way, God only knows. Sam was from Plumtree down in Tennessee. And he used to say in his homely way, sooner live in hell. I've totally screwed that verse up. Sam was from Tennessee, where cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam around the pole, God only knows. The land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say, in his homely way, he'd sooner live in hell. On Christmas Day, we were mushing our way over to the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. Our lashes froze, and if our eyes were closed, our lashes froze, to sometimes we could not see. And the last one to whimper was Sam McGee. That night we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow. He turned to me, and Steve, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. It's not death. I'm not scared of dying, but I'm scared of an icy grave, and that thought pains. So I'm asking you, foul or fair, to cremate my last remains. Well, a friend in need's a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. He sat in his sleigh and raved all day of his home in Tennessee, and before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in the land of death, and I hurried horror-driven. With the corpse half hid, I couldn't get rid, and a promise was given. A promise made, a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. So on I went, though the dogs were spent. Until I came to a marge on Lake LaBarge. A derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, and I saw in a trace it was called the Alice May. I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here sit I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. So coal I found lying around, and I stoked the fire higher. The furnace roared, the flames soared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the heart of the furnace glow, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. I went for a hike, for I did not like to hear him sizzle so, but the stars came out and danced about. And ere I ventured near, I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked. It's time I looked, and the door opened wide. And there sat Sam, cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. He wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said, please close the door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. And if I do, no, cold and storm, yes, that's it. There are strange things done under the midnight sun by the man who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have the secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge on Lake LaBarge, where I cremated Sam McGee. Thank you.